Oranges and bananas rock, 'cause I'm cooler than you.
Okay, so if there's one thing that you don't know about me, it's that I absolutely love to read. Enjoy because you can! So today, I want to be talking to you about The Hunger Games. Warning, if you plan to read The Hunger Games books or watch the movie coming out on March 23rd, then do not watch this, because this will really give it away. This is going to be so hard to explain. It's such a complicated book. Everyone in North America died. Just the country went to crap and everyone died in it. And so they created a place called Panem, which was 13 districts. And that's all it is. There's no other place besides the districts. And so it starts with the capital, and they control everything. That's where the president lives. And then there's District 1 and 2, 3, 4, up until 12. 1 is the richest district, and then 2 is the second richest, 3 is the third richest, and so on. So 12 is the poorest district. In each district, there are men who live there called the peacekeepers, and they come from the capital. And what they do is they make sure that everyone in the districts following the capital's rules so that they keep peace and they prevent uprisings. There's many laws that the peacekeepers have to enforce. Reaping Day is when the whole town goes to a festival, and a person from the capital, which is Effie Trinket, which you'll learn about later, pulls a boy and a girl from each jar. Like, there's 2 jars, a boy's jar and a girl's jar. So she pulls a name from each to go to the Hunger Games. Another important thing, like the most important thing about this book, is the Hunger Games and what it is. And so they go to an arena and they have to fight each other until their deaths, pretty much. And it's all this big game to the capital. So only one person can live. You're eligible for the Hunger Games once you turn 12 up until you're 18. So that 13th district had an uprising and they rebelled against the capital, so the capital blew them up. The Hunger Games started because, as I said, there was originally 13 districts, and it happened, based on the book, 75 years ago. So the capital created the Hunger Games to represent all those that died in the District 13 uprising. Characters: Katniss Everdeen, Primrose Everdeen, Gale Hawthorne, Haymitch Abernathy, Peeta Mellark, Effie Trinket, and Rue. Enjoy. Katniss is the main character of the book, which is written from her point of view. Her father died when she was 11, and so she has to take care of her younger sister and her mother, because her mother is in a state of depression and she can't take care of her kids anymore. And so Katniss and her best friend Gale, which you'll learn about later, goes hunting, and it's illegal, but the peacekeepers let it slide because the food there is so scarce and so little that you'll do anything to survive. And Katniss is 16 when she is shipped off to the Hunger Games. Katniss isn't my favorite character at all. Actually, I dislike her more as the books went on, so I don't like her that much. So, but you don't have to take my word for it. I mean, think what you want to think. It's just my opinion that she sucks. So yeah. Prim is Katniss's 12-year-old sister that Katniss takes care of. So for this book, there's really not a lot to say about Prim except for that she's really sweet and cares a lot about Katniss. And she's a big reason Katniss fought so hard in the Hunger Games. That's about it. She's a very small part of this book. Gale is Katniss's friend that she hunts with. Her best friend. There's not a lot to say about Gale in this book, except he's Katniss's best friend, and he's the one person she trusts to keep her family well fed and alive, because he's the one that she goes hunting with. That's about it. I liked Gale in this book a lot, but that was this book. Didn't so much like him after all the other ones. we're not to that yet. Haymitch is a former Hunger Games winner from District 12 that helps Peeta and Katniss. Haymitch won the Hunger Games 23 years ago for District 12, and since then he's become a worthless drunk, and I absolutely hated him in this book. I mean, he's horrible, but anyways, he helps Katniss and Peeta in the games, or at least that's his job. Peeta is the boy that gets picked during Reaping Day to go to the Hunger Games. There's almost no background information on Peeta, but we know that he's also from District 12, of course, because he goes to the Hunger Games with Katniss. And his family owns the bakery of District 12. But I do know that from reading the books, Peeta is this really nice and sweet boy, and he's just awesome. Like, you will love him. You'll absolutely be in love with him. I didn't like him at first, but I do now, so he's amazing. Effie is a Capitol woman that was picked specifically for District 12 on Reaping Day. So Effie in this book is just this obnoxious Capitol woman. Capitol people are very stuck up, and the Hunger Games is just games to them. It's not death. It's not sadness. I mean, they air it on the TV. So Effie thinks that the Hunger Games is just fun and all cheery and cheerful and stuff. So anyways, she's annoying, and they get very sick of her in the book, and I do too. And I wish I could have just pulled her out of the book and, like, punched her and ripped her hair off. Rue is a District 11 girl who's put in the Hunger Games when she's only 12. It's horrible, I know. But I'm only putting the important people in here, and she is actually a very important character in this book. Her and Katniss become friends during the Hunger Games, and so they're not going to kill each other. And it's a really important part in the book because when Rue's only 12, and she's the same age as Prim, Katniss' sister. So when Katniss looks at Rue, she sees Prim, and that's all she wants to protect. So she protects Rue. And sadly, Rue dies. And it's very sad in the book, and I cried. So, sorry about that. But yeah. And that's my heads up of The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins, coming out in theaters on March 23rd. Click the link below for my thoughts about the book and my summary of it, and just anything else that I thought during the book. This was just sort of a catch-up review thing for it, and just characters. Okay, so bye.